Everyone, welcome to the Monday Angel Message, and today is the 18th of May 2020, and I have some cards for you for the week ahead. So this is a message that's going to see you through the whole of this week. So it doesn't matter what day you watch this. If you want to know what's going on with the energy, it's like an energy update, a message, some guidance on how you can overcome challenges and what to expect this week as well. And I'm also going to give you a little bit of a healing right at the end. So let's get started and let's pull some cards for you. I hope you're feeling good this Monday morning, or it might be Sunday night if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, and that you're excited for the energy of this week. I have to say there is a bit of excitement bubbling. I can feel, and it does feel like there is a bit of lightness breaking through, but we're still in the middle of this kind of, I want to say it's bubbling. There are energies that are still coming up for people and for everyone collectively, and so we haven't by any means gotten through this spiritual lesson that we're in at the moment, as you know, as a collective. So that is going to take some time, and what's happening is there's so many people who are waking up, and that means that they're just having their awareness expanded, they're having their consciousness expanded, they're realizing things, and we're all doing that. There's nobody that is done with that. There's no great spiritual teacher or guru sitting on a cloud somewhere or on a high mountain saying, I've done all this. Because if we were done, we would be done. We would be off being someone else's spirit guide instead of being here being a human, right? And being here being a human is actually a great privilege and a great honor, and it's something amazing. And especially at this time, right? We're here for this amazing moment in history, and it's not just all about a pandemic. It's not all about whoever's in the leadership position at the moment, or what our political issues are. That's a lot to do with it, because it's what feeds through and down to all of the people. And we have to remember that even if you're not sitting in a leadership position anywhere, that you still, your energy, your consciousness has an effect on the overall. And so I was having a discussion with my lovely friend Dee the other day where I've noticed this too, where people are talking about like everyone else is sheep and they're so awake and you've got to wake up. And that's not fair. Like there is, we're not here to judge others and put each other down. And she felt like me that it's not right that spiritual leaders should talk about people who maybe aren't believers in spirit or in some of the changes that are happening that are putting other people down. So, we have to remember that ourselves, but we also have to remember to kind of steer away from people that make you feel, that less than. And it only through their words and actions, right? It's a sign. So what are you waking up to? What is coming into your awareness at the moment? What can you change on a very practical and ground level in your life that is going to make a difference going forward? So, it could be something very simple, like if you're a therapist or a healer, you might need to change your hours or change your pricing or change the way that you work. Or if you've got something going on with your children, maybe you've realized over the last 6 or 8 weeks in isolation that they need something a bit different that nobody had realized they needed before. They're all on every level of our lives. All of this is being sorted. And so whilst the energy is getting lighter, we're going to hit pockets where it feels kind of turbulent, or it feels kind of like it drops a bit. Or other people's negativity, other people's anger, other people's unhealed stuff that they don't want to look at might come up and bite you. And so, just be aware of that at the moment. So who's here? Dee's here. Hi. Thanks for reminding me of that the other day. Tyler. Hi, Tyler. Hi, Yana. Good morning, Amanda. Hey, Anthony. Lovely to see you here. So let's pull some cards and see what the angels have to say for the week ahead. And obviously, I'll just tell you what they're saying as they're saying it. So, let's see. Okay, so I always invoke the angels before we start. Right, that's interesting. Now, isn't that amazing? We've got some really strong cards, and they've come out in twos mostly. So I'll start with the first two, which is the present situation. So this is a really good example of what I just spoke about how the energy is, there is a lightness. And I think if you are doing your spiritual practice, you're doing meditation, you don't have to sit on a cushion and do it. You can go for a meditative walk. You can spend time on your own and ask the angels and spirit to help you. You can use prayer. But anything that puts you into those higher realms of energy, of remembering that you're not just a physical body. And what's going on at the moment, the focus on a virus, the focus on isolation, the focus on the economy, about jobs and money, is focusing us all on the physical at the moment. And that can mean that you can forget that you are spiritual. So you are a spiritual being, an energy being, an eternal being, living a physical life in a physical body. So your body is not eternal. At some stage or another, it's going to be finished, but your spirit will live on. And the spirit part of you is massive. It's expansive. It doesn't just squeeze into your physical body. There's so much more of you, and you have a lot of power in that. And forgetting that you are an energy being, a spiritual being, and this is what this card is about, really. This is the High Priestess. When you forget that, fear comes in and takes over. So your ego, fear mind, your ego is here to protect your physical body. It's about survival, right? Which is why it gets very competitive, why it looks for threats, why it worries all the time about money and what's coming next. So that's your physical. It's very in this, in the physical body. And in the ego, fear mind, it's looking for danger. It's looking for worries. Have you ever been paranoid about something? Like, something's going to happen to me. That's your ego. So your spiritual self is your higher self. It's your divine self. It's your soul. And your soul is wise. It knows not to worry. It knows how to connect to create what you want. It calls in what you want. And when you forget that part of you, you start to go more into fear and you forget that you've got your power. So it's very important at the moment, while things are so uncertain, right? Things have been uncertain for weeks and they're just changing all the time. So it's to come into spirit, connect in with the divine, do what it takes, ask your angels for help. And not just to throw away, ask your angels for help and then just get on with your day and doing what you normally do. Take time and also take time to listen, because your intuition and your angels and your spiritual guides never stop speaking with you. And this isn't a kind of woo-woo thing that only psychics can do and only healers can do, and we only do it so that we can help other people. It's for you. Your spiritual guidance system is for you. It tells you what's good for you, what's bad for you, how to overcome challenges, how to call in the things that you need. And so this is why this card is so important right now. This is the High Priestess, and it's Archangel Haniel, who's the angel of the moon. She's the angel of grace, clairvoyance, intuition. She's listening. You ever heard the saying, I feel like something's not right in my waters? Like that's something, it's an old-fashioned saying. It doesn't feel good in my waters or in my bones. That's, to do with Haniel and the moon. Like it's about your emotions and the physical body, and your intuition is that just something doesn't feel right. It isn't right. There's something for you to know there, right? So this is about, if you take time to meditate, some time out, and to set aside and release and heal the fear energy that's going on, and this kind of pull all the time that's pulling you towards fear or pulling you towards worrying about the physical all the time. I'm not saying you don't think about the physical. I'm not saying that you don't, we've got to balance it. There is guidance coming for you. There is intuition there. There's powerful insights. So you might have an idea, like if you've lost your job at the moment and you're a bit stuck, an idea might come through for you to call someone or to look on a certain job site, or something that will guide you to overcome this. But if you sit in powerlessness and say, right, that's it, I'm done for, excuse me, then you are giving into fear, and you are not honoring the powerful being that you are. You're not honoring your power. So it's saying you can be at peace. Everything's going to be okay. So the other card that came out for the present situation, look, this is very unusual. I've done readings for 16, 17 years, and I've been doing this for a very long time too with the videos. It's not often that you'll get a double card for a specific placement. So here we have about balancing the intuition with telling the truth to yourself. So there may be things at the moment that you are overlooking, you're overriding, you're ignoring, you're pushing away, and the universe might be getting those signals to come louder and louder and louder. So you know the saying where the angels say, or this is I call it the cosmic kick in the butt, that you ignore something for a while and it sort of starts off as like a feather tickling you, and it's kind of like irritating and you push it away. I don't want to look at that. And it gets louder, and maybe it gets into a bit of a push. And then eventually you get what I call the universal kick in the butt, which is something that is so in your face, you can't ignore it. And sometimes, we just get busy, we just push things away because we feel like we've got no time. Now, this is what this card is about. It's time to get blunt and honest with yourself about certain things in your life. Stop ignoring what is calling for your attention. You have what it takes to overcome the challenges that are in front of you. In this card, you see this man, he's flying a kite, but there's an owl coming in, and the owl represents wisdom. And there are things for you to know that you're ignoring, right? So sometimes you might be at the universal kick in the butt, where something really harsh or full on happens, and you go, oh, I can't ignore this anymore, I've got to pay attention to it. Right? So it might be that you've been ignoring your tax bill, and all of a sudden, you get a phone call, or you get, something shows up and it says must pay by this date, and it nudges you into action. We're kind of 2 steps behind that right now. Everyone is going to be at a different place, but this is the card warning you about the warning. It's like, come on, pay attention to the thing that you've been pushing away. Now, this isn't to give you worry. Remember, this card says be at peace. Don't be worried about it. Take action. So you might need to get some time out, get your journal out, write about things that are bothering you at the moment, and ask for guidance as to how you can overcome them. Think about those those loose ends, unfinished business that you've been ignoring or pushing away. Time to pay attention to that. So not a bad card at all, but really it's positive. It's kind of, there's a positive new things coming in, and they want you to get past this bump. So for instance, recently I had a problem at work, and I realized, oh my gosh, I've not been looking at that. That's something that's been bothering me for a long time, and now I've got to take action on it. And I've got to change the way I do things, and maybe I've got to be a bit more picky about the clients I have. And then it's like the truth comes so much in your face, you can't ignore it. Okay, so here is the guidance. And it's the number 5, which is about change. So if you saw my Instagram reading yesterday, Facebook reading as well, the card was also a number 5 about obstacles and challenges. This is a number 5, so it's telling you that positive change is on its way. In fact, the angels are saying it's change you've been waiting for a long time. It's taking you to the next level. But look at what they're talking to us about this week. It's all about guidance. It's about connecting in with your spiritual guides, with your angels, with your intuition. Have an open mind. Are you blocking your intuition? Are you thinking you already know it all? Are you closing down for some reason, or being too quick? Like the angels are saying, maybe you're being too hurried and you think you know what it is, and they're saying, whoa, slow down, we've got messages for you. So very, very strong about connecting to your guidance, connecting with your intuition. And they're talking to me about the mind as well, your mindset. So, sometimes you can feel maybe negative about something, and you sort of go, oh, that's hurting me, I don't want to look at it. But they're saying to you, look again, change the way that you're looking at things. So sometimes when your mind decides something, you will make it the truth for you. So, for instance, you might say, people in this town are always mean to me, or people at that shop are always rude, or this always happens to me. They say that about the telephone companies right here in Australia. It's like, they're so difficult. what they're saying to you is you can change, if you can change your thoughts, you'll change what happens. So you could say, all right, lots of people are worrying about the second wave of coronavirus. You can change that. You don't buy into that. Start to say, that's not going to happen here. That's not going to happen to me. And start to create the energy that you want to create in your life. So watch out for the way your mind can be prejudiced against things and start to shift that. And for the final, the outcome cards. So they're both Gabrielle cards. The Archangel Gabrielle is the angel of career, messaging, bringing messages. Also helps you with your intuition, but very much about your work, your career, that what you're putting out into the world. So there's lovely cards here. So the first one is reminding us of what we're talking about, the challenges that we're in at the moment. You can resolve them. Now in this card, the person that's trying to work out the challenge, she's sitting there on her own and she's being contemplative, and we've talked about that already. So it's like, take some time away, let go of drama, let go of other people's drama. Have you noticed that when you're trying to get something done, you've got a project, there's things will come up, and it's almost comical. Things will come up to try and drag you off track. Or if you're sort of thinking, I'm going to change my life, and then all of a sudden it feels like there's a million things in the way of you doing that. That's just the way the ego works. And it's like, hey, there's a distraction over here. You really want what you want? And you know, an ideal one of that, you know, a good example is people who join the gym. And then next minute you don't feel like you've got time to go. You don't feel like it's too cold in the mornings. Something happens. It's like all these blocks come up. And that's just your ego throwing up resistance. So if you can keep focused, withdraw from drama, the drama of your thoughts and the drama of other people, you are going to bust through some pretty amazing levels, some pretty amazing projects this coming week and moving forward. But it's saying you've got to pull away from the drama. Have patience with yourself and with the world, and know that you're taken care of every step of the way. And you'll see she's trying to do a jigsaw, and the angel Gabriel is coming in with the final piece for her. So it's like, I think I know how it's going to work, but actually I don't. There's extra guidance here for you, which is why they're telling you to sit still. And this one is good too. This is the Two of Gabrielle. You're making great strides, making big decisions that match where you want to go, ambitious choices, and perhaps you're going to be working with other people who share your vision. And this came up earlier in this one too. It's like, try to cut away the people in your life in the nicest possible way, and it might just be cut away the people that the way that they influence you. Don't give your power to them, that drag you down, that pull you off track, that don't match your highest vision. So it doesn't mean you've necessarily got to get rid of people, but maybe you've just got to be a little bit careful. Don't share your dreams with certain people, because they're the ones that always throw the wet blanket or the criticism on you. Or maybe you literally have to start thinking bigger about what you want in your life and who you want in your life. Because when you surround yourself with beautiful, uplifting, people who see the vision that you see, that expect better for themselves, then that is going to lift you up as well. So hi Ida, I'll say hi to a few people. Hey Hassan, nice to see you. Hi Patricia, thank you May, night morning. Jenny and Ida, hi. So thanks for being here. I don't want to keep you too long. I'll put these up a little bit later on the Instagram and on my Facebook stories as well. So I wanted to tell you about this Friday, the 22nd, at 10 a.m. Sydney time. I'm doing a online 90-minute webinar, which is called Divine Love, Access the Healing of Divine Love. And this is an angelic workshop online, and we're going to be attuning you with the higher vibrations of divine love, which is going to help you to clear your mind, clear energy. We're going to be working with the heart chakra, clearing away past pain, heartache, grief. And, it's interesting what they said about the Two of Gabrielle, about finding like-minded people that match your vision, heart and mind. So that's what the angels wanted me to do with this workshop, is we're going to be creating this magnetic field of energy around you so that you're attracting the right people and situations and even abundance to you. And this all starts with the heart. So we're working on the heart chakra, and we're also clearing mind energy that's been holding you back. So if you felt stuck in negative patterns, if you've been projecting a bit, making it everyone else's fault, feeling as if you just can't move through, you can't get through those blocks that are going on, come to this workshop. It's very low price. It's only a 90-minute session. We're going to be doing healing guided meditation and activations to your energy, releasing and cutting cords, and bringing in all the angels like Shamuel, Raphael, Gabriel, Michael, to really expand the love energy around you. And not only is that going to top you up, make you feel more energized and positive, it's going to magnetize loving situations and people to you. So if you're on the lookout for your soulmate, this is also a good workshop for you. But it's, divine love, and using divine love to heal yourself and others is so powerful. And it's actually the frequency of the angels. Divine love is the frequency of the angels, which is why it's so miraculous. It changes you, and it shifts the energy around you. And then you don't feel like you're in that fear, focused on ego, focused on worry. And, when we're in that state, we tend to attract things that are on that magnetic level, not because it's our fault, because it's the frequency you live at that attracts what you want. So it's at 10 a.m. Sydney time, which is for 90 minutes, it's the evening before in America and Canada. And other Northern Hemisphere countries you'll have to check out, but you'll also get the replay. So if you can't attend live, you will get the replay if you sign up. So I'm going to put the link in the comments here so that you can sign up for that. And before Friday, excuse me. And I'm wishing you a beautiful week. Have you listened to my podcast yet that I was interviewed on? It's not my podcast, it's Lisa's podcast on self. And it was all about angels, archangels, the afterlife. We talked about life after death, the meaning of life. We really went deep, and it's a really high vibe conversation. And that's free on my website at the moment, or any podcast. If you just look up self podcast, you'll find it. It's a really lovely conversation. So thanks everyone for being here, and sending you loads of love and angel blessings, and have a great week. See you soon.